In this class, I'll show you what sort of phones or tablets you might need to use augmented reality with, as well as our recommendation for the best devices to go for. Most modern mobile phones will work with augmented reality, so there's nothing stopping you using your phone or your students' phones, meaning no extra cost is involved. If that's the case, all you'll need access to is a good Wi-Fi connection, which all of your students will need to be able to connect to. You'll also need to get your students to download various apps to their devices. I'll talk more about the apps you can use in the next video. You might want to test out some of the apps I'll talk about in the next video with your students in advance, just to check everyone has phones suitable for viewing AR in. As a general rule to go by, if your students can use things like Snapchat or Instagram filters, they should have a powerful enough device to use for AR. For students with Android devices, that means having at least Android 7 operating system, or for Apple users, at least iOS 11, the equivalent of an iPhone 6S. If you have the budget available, however, I would recommend purchasing a classroom set of iPads for AR activities. This way, no one in your class will be excluded for not having the right device, and you can preload the Wi-Fi settings and a standard set of apps onto each device, ready for your next classroom activity with minimal setup time. The advantage of having something bigger, like an iPad here, means that your students will be able to see something on a much larger and higher quality screen. To run AR, you'll need at least a 5th generation iPad with a minimum of iOS 11 software, but you can purchase the latest 8th generation iPad from as little as £285 each, including VAT. There are obviously other different models of iPads you can buy, like the iPad mini or the iPad Air or even an iPad Pro here, but these are much more expensive and basically do the same thing as the standard iPad. You could also look at Android tablets, which are much cheaper than iPads. My advice would be to start looking at iPads priced over around £100 each and above, and with at least Android 7 operating system. Most of the time, the best places to start your search are decent high street electronics retailers like Argos or Curry's PC World that sell branded tech of a decent quality. Based on your budget, try and find a tablet with the largest screens possible, with the largest number of pixels per inch. Here, a larger number means it can show more detailed images on the screen. Also with the best battery capacity. Here, the more mAh or milliamps per hour is better. And also with the largest storage. The more gigabytes you have means the more apps it can hold. I would always advise buying one device to begin with, so you can test it out and make sure it works well before you buy any more in bulk and commit to a higher spend. In the next class, we'll move on from equipment to talk about the different types of AR apps you can use with your students.